Alright, so I can see the green bar right now. I am a dumbass, and the reason for that is because I had recorded today's video earlier, and while I was doing it, I was playing GeoGuessr as well, just to make it a little more interesting, just because I didn't want to, be right here talking the whole time. Maybe I could play a little GeoGuessr, see if I could find where I am while I was talking. And like a dumbass, this is where I'm a dumbass. I didn't even watch the video back. There's no audio to it. There's no microphone to it. So it's just me on mute talking in front of a screen, and in the background you can hear like the little GeoGuessr clicks, but that's it. Nothing else went through. So I'm only finding this out like right before midnight, and I mean, nothing, no rush, but I'm just like annoyed a little bit. It's all my own fault, to be honest. Mm. Anyway, I guess I'll just kind of go over what I talked about in that video, just to quickly make up. So, today was a pretty eventful day, and I will say that not lately because most days are pretty uneventful for me. I go to work, I come home, and that's the extent of my day. But today, there was some more stuff that went on than usual. For one, I was working, and I usually when I'm rooming, I'm sitting at the desk, right? And you're sitting at the computer, typing in information, and going over stuff, and I'm sitting at this desk, and there's a cabinet right above me, right? And probably know where this is going, but when I stood up to leave, I went up kind of fast, and I banged my head right here somewhere. And, you know, in that instant, it was pretty painful. Patient came over, they were like checking on me, and I'm like, I'm good, I'm good. And I left the room, and when I was outside, I asked another medical assistant if she could take a look, at whether I was bleeding or not, because I wasn't sure. And lo and behold, I was bleeding. It wasn't too much blood, but enough to, get a crowd, not a crowd, but some other medical assistant and nurse to come over and just check on me and make sure the bleeding stopped. And that was it. That was the extent of the injury. The bleeding did stop, and I was fine. I didn't have anything else. I just hurt my head. Now, the more sort of, I wouldn't say eventful, but it was like the logistical aspect was that because I had hurt myself and because I injured and started bleeding, there had to be an incident report that was filed because of company policy, and then they didn't want me to work, or they didn't want me to do my job until I was cleared by employee health, which I'm like, I'm talking, I'm doing, I'm fine, like I'm still walking. Literally, there was no issue with me besides the fact that my head had a boo boo. And so I had to talk to them, basically just tell them, yeah, I'm literally, there's nothing wrong with me. Like, I'm good to do stuff. And yeah, that was that. After that happened, I'm not gonna go into too much detail. I did initially, but because the video was muted, there's nothing, going on there. So, um, after that, there was a, more like interesting patient encounter that I dealt with, and yeah, I'm not gonna go into too much detail about that, but um, it was something, and or yeah, there was a lot going on there. Just trying to kind of like, in the initial video, that got muted, or that was muted because I'm a dumbass and didn't turn on my mic. I did mention a little bit more, but no PHI, nothing like that would qualify as a violation. I just would rather share less than more, just to protect any sort of um, any patient just from you know any risk, and protect myself as well from any legal or ethical whatever consequences. So there's that. Just gonna try and avoid talking too much about it. Now, the last cool thing that happened while I was at work, this is all that happened at work, to be honest, because nothing else happened today besides that. Um, One of the other doctors, which she's a woman, and she usually does like women exams, like pap smears and all that stuff. I don't exactly work with her. I work with another doctor, but I've talked with her maybe like once or twice, and um, she was seeing a patient who they had removed the IUD, and um, she removed the IUD, she said something along the lines of like, wouldn't you know he like to take a look or something like that. I don't know, just like show him it. I think it'd be cool for him to take a look. Oh my gosh, Ivy just was mid yawn and then whipped her head back to me. Are you okay? It's okay. So I saw an IUD today, and it's pretty cool. Like, how does that little thing stop people from getting pregnant? That's crazy. There's a little plastic one, and yeah, these IUDs are like this big. I don't know if that's what it is for all IUDs, but yeah, it's something. Um, I think this one needed to be replaced or needed to be removed. It was kind of like at its expiration date, so um, yeah, just like pretty cool stuff, and I was really just interested and excited because um, two things, right? It's cool to just see new things and get exposed to medical medical new medical topics, right? Like with a lot of women's health, I don't get too much exposure just because gender stuff. A lot of women just more women are more comfortable with female providers or female staff rather than male staff. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. I wish that I could have more exposure to it in a more like educational sense, right? But nothing that I'm like dying to know. So seeing an IUD, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And learning about that stuff. The second cool part is that I wasn't sure. I didn't know that this doctor knew that. I don't know. I'm just glad that the doctor thought that I would be interested in learning and seeing it. Um, I guess it just makes me feel like people know that I'm curious and want to learn, and I guess like in my head I take that as like a victory because um I am trying to learn just for medical school and on all that stuff. So um, I don't know. It was not a bad day. It was definitely unique for sure, and to have some of those days it puts things in perspective. So yeah, that's what happened today. Check out the shirt. I'm sitting in bed right now, so I got the Food Wars shirt. Pretty cool. Is there anything else? No, I think that should be it. I'm getting a haircut soon. I gotta get rid of this. This is too much. Look how long it is in the back. I don't know how people deal with long hair. It's just so much. I really want to like tie it in a bun or something, but at the same time, this is just gonna be like bad. Like, come on. So, alright, this video has gone too long because I'm basically just repeating myself from earlier today, and this lighting and camera is bad. So, we'll just end it here. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.